whiskey and all sorts. And one day they said, we want a reservoir at Barlaston, the other side of Newcastle. He said, it's very deep at one end, tapering up to out at the other, hold 1 million gallon of water. He said, so when you blow the lock, you'll have to run up a slope to get out of it. Make it difficult for you. And somebody shoves a tin of grease on it just to make it, So you're blowing this, like, and I've been drilling these and trying to light about 60, and then the lumps of rock were chasing me out the bloody hole. So biding the time, I'd had a bit of a sweat on, and I thought, well, bugger this, I could do with a cup of tea. Well, I'm not very far from Newcastle under Lyme, so I was up in the... And at that time, I'd got the old Elvis. It was after the van. The Elvis was what they call an open tourer. I don't know if you ever saw him. 1928 it was. I did 96,000 miles in the bugger. 5.5 to 1. Lift to the bloody starting handle. It blump, 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 and it blump, blump all day. Wasn't terrifically fast, but once you got the flywheel turning, nothing could stop the bugger. and somebody had cut the beetle back off it and put a square back on with what is called nowadays a tonneau cover. That's what the chaps call them in the club. A tonneau cover. Mine was a piece of oilcloth with bloody... with breast studs round it. That's what they are now, but they call them tonneau covers, you see. If you're with it, mine was a piece of oilcloth, and I used to put my explosive in the back. And I've been working up at this place, so I come into Newcastle, and there's a bit of a cul-de-sac and a cafe. So I parked the bugger by the side of the curb, went in, got me a cup of tea and a wad. And when I come out, there was a police inspector, a sergeant, and a constable. Two of them were looking at it, and the constable had got up the wind handle and he was turning it round. And I think he believed he was winding up the rubber band, or it was a clockwork model. I said, what's the matter, chaps? You've got to appear innocent. I had an idea what happened. One of my press studs wasn't working properly, and the wind had got under it and lifted the bugger up. And he'd been walking past and seen in the back a box of Gelignite. Back up to the police station, and he got the higher echelon had come down, and they all had a look at it. And they said, you can't leave this on the street, Come up to the police station. So I had to go to the bloody police station with them, went in the old motor, followed them up. And I had to make a statement, you see. So when I got back to Crewe, I went to see my solicitor. I call him my solicitor. Everybody calls him my dentist, my doctor, my solicitor. He's my solicitor because he was at school with me, and he doesn't charge me anything. It's like my accountant. He's the same. Nice lad, really. Shall I walk in? Only go in once a year, because he's behind his desk, composed, enjoying life. Then I walk in, and his face alters. And he'll say, don't the years go quick? I said, well, I've come here for you to do me books again. And then he'll say, what bloody book? You don't keep books. Then he lies on the rug and beats his hand up. Has a little session like that, and I give him a cigar, and he composes himself again. Don't the years go quick, swine. Anyway. So I said to my solicitor, I am in the shit. No use beating about the bush. And he said, what again? What have you done this time? I said, well, they've been all accusing me of leaving explosive unattended on the streets. They're all playing bloody elephant Newcastle, eh? Oh, he said, you'll get the summons, all right. He said, when you get it, you come up and see me. I said, I'll have to come to court with you. So I got the bloody summons, all right, and I went to see him. I said, there it is. He said, right, that's just such and such a date. We have to go to court. I'll come with you, he said. So we go up to Newcastle Police Court this morning. Remember, it was a nice day. And we get in the court. And he said to me, he said, now, don't forget. He said, I'll do all the talking. He said, I'll make the questions. All as you've got to do is say yes and no. Just say yes. He said, you'll know when to say yes. I said, at least I hope you do. And you'll know when to say no. That's all you've got to say. He said, Jenny. So anyway, they got me in the bloody dock there, and And they started off, and then he started, well, of course you wouldn't do such... No, but you would do so-and-so. Yes, and I was yesing and bloody knowing for 40 minutes. And no bugger was getting anywhere. And the sun was coming through the windows, and the magistrates were slowly, But on the way there, he said to me, look, he said, if we can get them laughing... You're all right. Pop a stick in your pocket. Bloody yes and no in. And just then, the chairman and the magistrates jumped up, turned to me. I don't care what the solicitor said. I still consider this to be a most dangerous substance to be left on our streets.
Yeah.
So I thought, this is me cue. He's talking to me. So I whipped the stick out my pocket, broke it in two, wrapped it on the dock, and said, you don't call that dangerous, do you? By Christ, they all sat to attention. The court came alive. The superintendent jumped up and said, get him out the court! And as I'm going up the aisle, somebody shouted, £9! 9 bloody quid. I get to the back, and there's my solicitor leaning against one of the blokes, pissing himself a laughing. He said, you silly bugger. He said, I'd got him here, he said. 40 minutes I've struggled. He said, you've just cleared the court in 4 minutes flat. You can't win.